Alright, so today I am doing a vintage hair tutorial. So many of you guys have asked me for this, and it's been a long time coming, so finally here it is, victory rolls for you ladies. I'm just going to do a tutorial on how to do the victory rolls and the curls and the flower, this whole look that you see here, so I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so let's get started. I like what's happening right here. I don't know if you could see the full magic of it, but it's pretty amazing. Definitely not going to keep that. Okay, so like my other hair tutorial, I start with sectioning my hair, and you actually want to do this on day-old hair. You don't want to do it on just wash hair or just blow-dried hair, because when you do your victory rolls, they won't stay as well. And I find that vintage styles always work best on day-old hair anyways. So you're just going to section about this much in the back. I usually work in inch or inch and a half sections when I'm curling my hair. And this is just like the other one. So you're gonna use the same Paul Mitchell hot off the press spray, and it is a thermal spray just to protect your hair. So spray the ends and then brush through to smooth. And then I'm using the same inch barrel curling iron. It's a Conair curling iron. And this time you're gonna go all the way to the ends and then curl upwards. And then let it stay until it gets hot. You can feel the temperature with your hands, and when it gets too hot to touch on the outside of your hair, that's when you know it's done. So once it's done, just gently release the curl, and see how I'm putting my thumb on the end of the curling iron? You want to release the curl onto your thumb so it keeps its shape, and then curl it back close to your head. And then I use pin curl clips. You can get these at beauty supply stores. Sometimes you can get them at drugstores. So you just open the little clamp and clip it to your head. They work better than bobby pins because they don't actually leave a dent in the curl. So I'm going to do this with all of my hair, and I use about, I don't know, inch sections of hair at a time so that all my curls are uniform. And then you do the same thing with the next section. Just keep sectioning it out. Now if you have ends that are layered like this, you just twist them into the curling iron and then release a little bit with your thumb until those ends are tucked into the curling iron. And you just keep doing it, be gentle, they'll eventually come. And that's the way you keep those ends from getting all kinked. You should do it until you don't feel tension anymore. Now this small piece in the front, there's not enough hair right now for its own curl, so I just separate it out, and then when I bring some hair down from here, I'll add to it so that all my sections are about the same size. Okay, so this part of the video, I just kind of want to ask you guys your feedback. I have a loving boyfriend who edits all of my videos, and we got into an argument the other day whether people would rather see jumps in between doing hair tutorials and makeup tutorials, or whether you guys would rather see fast-forward clips. My theory is that fast-forward clips show you what I'm doing still, but it kind of skips through all of the, curling and spraying and stuff that you don't really need to see in regular motion. And he thinks that it should just be fast-forwarded through, jumped through, and I think that looks confusing. So if you guys want to leave in the comments whether you want to see fast-forwards or jumps, whether you'd like to see shorter videos and then I can just cut stuff out, or whether you'd like to see the videos with everything that I've done just fast forwarded. Let me know which style you guys prefer, and please prove me right so I can rub it in his face. But if that's not what you guys want to see, I'd really like to know, because I want to make videos in the style that you guys like.
A man alone in the desert stands, bouquet of roses in his hands, and the wedding ring that he took from her dead hand.
Now usually with vintage styles you want to make sure that you curl all of your hair really uniformly, but I found with victory rolls, because you're rolling these front sections of hair, you don't have to be super accurate with your curling, and your sections don't have to be exactly the same, because you're actually brushing a big section together to form the victory roll. I just still like to make things as uniform as I possibly can. But I have odd layers in the front and bangs and all of that nonsense, so I kind of just curl how I can, and then when I do the rolls it kind of makes up for itself. Okay, so these front sections of hair, the rest of the hair I curled under, but these ones I'm actually going to curl in the direction that I'm making the victory rolls. So you hold your curling iron upside down, and I like to hold it kind of towards the back of my head, and then just give it a nice little roll, and make sure those ends are tucked so they don't create weird little pokey out pieces. And then release it, and then I'm actually going to pin it in the shape that the victory roll will be in, so that it dries or cools down that way, and it makes this awesome hairdo right here. And then I'm going to do the same with these little pieces. Now I find the key to making pretty smooth victory rolls is to not use too much product. I don't really use hairspray if I can avoid it. I use them a little bit in setting, and that's it. So once your hair is all cooled down, that's the key, you have to let it cool so that those curls can set. And it also makes your hair really shiny, which I love. So you just unpin all of the curls, try to keep them in their original shape, don't frizz them or muss them around too much.
I woke up one day, smell of gunpowder, blood, sweat, tears, drip from the rafters above my bed.
And then unpin these guys. Now I'm basically going to leave the back of my hair alone until I'm done with my victory rolls. So I just take my thumb and I use it to part the hair behind my ears. I start right where the end of my ears, or the top of my ears, and comes to a point, and I just go up to the end of my part, right here, and that should give you a nice even part. Pardon my roots, I haven't had my hair done in a bit. If you want good color, go to Stephanie at Floyd's Barbershop in Hermosa Beach. She does my color, she hooks it up, and I'm actually going to see her on Sunday. So anyways, so make this section and then smooth it out. And then what I do is I take a teasing comb and I use this smaller section on the, I guess it's on your right, and I tease the back of the hair, not the front. The front is what's going to be showing, so you want it to be as least messy as possible. And then I just give it a little squirt of hairspray just to set it, and then I take this smoothing comb, it's just this little pink goodie brush, you can find them at your drugstore, and I smooth out the top layer so that underneath is still teased, but it doesn't look all messy. And then it should be easy because you've already curled your hair. Just put it in that little nice roll shape and roll it down. It's super easy. And just adjust it how it fits your head best. And then I take a bobby pin that matches my hair and I stick it dead center. Now you want to try to hide them because, you know, it looks a little bit more professional if you do. And that's literally one pin holding it together. Now I put in a couple more just to anchor it, just in case it's windy or, you know, you want to do this style all day. And then I'm only putting 2 in because it's just a tutorial, but you can put in as many as you want. Just make sure they're hidden. You can see right there. You can see it in there if you really look, but otherwise it's fairly hidden. So now I take this Pureology, it's like kind of a wax, it's called Texture Twist, but it's for colored hair, and I just take a little pump of it, just a tiny bit, rub it between my hands to warm it up and soften it, and then I rub it along these little baby hairs, because I have, like as you can see, these little wispy hairs, and they drive me crazy. So I rub that wax on there, and then I take my smoothing brush again and just go over it, just to give it that pretty shiny look. And then I give it a spray to set it, and roll number 1 is done. So then you're basically going to do the same thing on the other side, just section it up. And you want to be gentle with these curls because you're separating them into the back of your hair, and the ones in the back you'll still see. So don't be too brutal. And then comb your hair up. Give it a good tease. I find the more that you tease, the easier it is to use less bobby pins because there's more of a root to stick it in. Good little spray, a little smoothing. And the more you smooth this teased hair, the better your end product looks. So be sure to spend time to do that. Now the same thing. Just kind of roll that curled hair around your fingers. Now the one on my right side is always a little trickier because I have these bangs. So I have to use more product and more manpower. So I do 1 pin in the center to anchor it. And then I usually do 1 to pull it towards that second roll. I like when my victory rolls actually kind of touch each other. Some girls do them farther apart, some do them closer together. I like them closer together. I find it's more of a true vintage look. And then some more of that wax. Rub it to warm it. And smooth it on. And this is really what's going to keep my bangs in. Some of you girls have baby bangs. You think you can't do these when you have bangs, but you can. You just have to finesse your hair a little bit better. And just make sure that you smooth all of that teasing so it looks pretty and not stiff. Give it a spray. Give it a once over. Now, I usually give the front a close-up spray, and I don't have a blow dryer with me right now, but if you just do a quick pass over with blow dryer, set it at medium so it doesn't mess up your hair. But once that hot air hits it for a few seconds and dries it, it'll dry into basically a victory roll helmet, which is perfect, if that's what you're looking for. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back to my curled hair, and I have this paddle brush, and I'm just gonna go through it lightly, be gentle, just to smooth all my curls together. Now, if you want more body in the back of your hair up here, you can tease it and then smooth it, but I like to keep it more traditional vintage. So that's done. And then you can take a flower and just stick it wherever you think it fits. Be careful that you don't mess up your just finished hair. And now I will show you the back. And the other side. That's it. It's so easy. Takes maybe a half hour if you count all the curling of your hair, and it's so cute and so pretty and so feminine. So I hope that helped you guys. I hope you liked the tutorial. I'm pretty good at vintage styles, so if there's any other kind of vintage style you want to see, let me know and I'll try to do it. And if there's a non-vintage style, maybe a celebrity style, something like that, I'm fairly handy with the hair, so just let me know and I'll try my best to accommodate. Yeah, so hope you liked it. Bye guys.